So this first poem, her nature goes like this. She reminds me of nature. Her beauty so infinite and intricate, and at a glance, like a hypnotist, she can make your senses stand like innovation, give you chills like a winter with high winds on a hill or cliff. And after the climb, when I get to sit to enjoy the view like a stoner kid, well, like a gardener, that's what I really dig. You see, her roots are deep even after cutting ties with relatives, because she's grounded in her searching, gone our heritage. She's an unapologetic chick who's married with the seasons. She lives life with phases. With the constant goal of growth, she is never afraid of changes. So she rolls with the punches like ocean tides. It's nothing, and she doesn't do any bluffing. So when you see levels rising, there's no more room for discussion. Put your money where your mouth is and stop being so gluttonous. We all know that actions speak louder than words. And if you sit and observe, you can clearly hear hers. So I sit back and admire the way she can keep a man warm like a fire, and under the right circumstances, have them completely devoured. Turn into ash, make him warm at rock bottom. But if you're looking for reasons to break, believe me, she's got them. Juggling one plate, two, three, she's doing her best. She's all natural in a world full of tech, and she's a natural tonic to a man who's depressed. But don't let her generosity get to your head, thinking you're entitled. That stuff will have you misled. It's suicidal, like having a gun to your dome, and a few seconds later, it's missing some lead. And yeah, she'll let you know when she is upset. But one day she gonna make you cut, and you're gonna be like, was it something I said? Probably. But even more, something you did. And men were never ready when she decides she's done with this. And when she decides she's done with this, she's done with this. And then it's done. Over. We're out of luck, bruh. Because mankind, the. That's why she reminds me of nature. She's generous and adaptable, but don't you go acting bold because she lets things go. Some things are irreversible. Even if you think you're in control, you will never manipulate her. She's been wild since birth. She's up for thrills and down to earth. And since before recorded history, she's been the center of a man's universe. Thank you. That's the first poem right there. Now, I have a quick question for you. You don't want to clap. I got a quick question real quick for my second poem. If you could raise your hand, okay? I need a little participation. If you could raise your hand and let me know. Raise your hand only, right, if you listen to your intuition 100% of the time. Nobody? What? All right. Well, I didn't listen to mine either. So one day I was driving, right, and to a place I had been to a bunch of times, my partner's house, and I just felt a little weird. You feel me? I don't know if you ever get like that little weird feeling. I was like nervous or something. You feel me? Like, what's going on, man? I've been here so many times. Well, the night ended up with me on the floor with like 8 officers with their guns out back to my neck. I mean, it was horrible. I should have just took myself home. I probably just kids in here. I should have just took myself home. But I did not. And so I ended up on the floor, right, with all these cops and all these guns, and all I could think to myself was, am I next? Right? So like, am I next? Now, the unfortunate part is I knew that I had put myself in this position, so it made it even poopier, I guess you could say, right? So I don't say no cuss words up here. And that's all I could think was, am I next? And so, you know, full disclosure, I had police relationships with, with the officers. I was like 14, 13, so I had a bit of experience with them. And so this situation left me a little bit shook up, so I wrote this poem. And it's called, Am I Next? And it goes like this. I don't know why, but I start to shake when a peace officer gets behind my license plate. Even though I'm driving safely, I know I'm straight. I can't forget the power the badge holds over my fate. Any ill movement or mistake can become full bullet headed towards me, point blank. And then the court acquittal will provide a clean slate. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I'm scared. Well, actually, that's a lie, because in all honesty, I am terrified during every police encounter that I might not make it out alive. They say history repeats itself. I feel like I'm on rewind. Replace my name with anyone who's been shot, beat, or choked to death. Some of the names we have even memorized. As I stare down the barrel of an officer's gun, I swear I've never been more aware of every breath within my lungs, thinking that this one, or maybe even this one, might very well be my very last one. So I comply with every order. Yes, sir. as fast as I can, hoping that I don't get hurt. But when I look in your eyes, respect is something I feel you don't think that I deserve. Still, my tax dollars paid for you to protect and serve, and yes, that includes me. Despite your bias, when you see my crew and drive by us, you see officers receive training to deal with situations of high stress. But they're scared when I'm the one with the cold metal hard pressed to the back of my neck. Or next, tell me, Mr. Officer, am I next? Now I know, because of these words and because of this video, some of you might want to get me, so let me just clarify. I know men and women in the blue uniform also die. I know their families hurt, and they also cry. No one owns a monopoly on pain. But it would seem that some people own a license to kill, commit murder, get paid administrative leave to go home and chill. And as I write these words now, I get the chills. Because I know that this is real. So the next time I see those lights, the next time I hear that sound, I'll probably be scared. Well, actually, that's a lie. Because in all honesty, I'll probably be terrified during the next police encounter that I might not make it out alive. And that's that second poem right there. Let me take a little drink of water real quick. Now, in that moment, right, I felt like, man, I don't know if y'all been in a situation like that before, but I felt like my life was about to be taken. I mean, it was such a powerless feeling. And but there's been other points in my life where I wanted to take it in myself. And perhaps I'm not alone in this feeling, but I felt powerless because of my own choices, because of my circumstances, not just because of that situation, but other situations in general. Worthless, hopeless, no direction. Am I alone feeling those? Have you ever felt some of that before? Yeah? All right, so, you know, I felt a bunch of those things, man, and some of it started to change when I found my better half. Now, this next poem is called Better Half. Did somebody say, up there? It's not what you think, I don't think. And so this poem goes like this. My better half is patient. My better half calms me down when I start to feel anxious. My better half has made me laugh on countless occasions, even in the midst of our most desperate situations. My better half is unique and oh so cool with a little bit of geek. My better half doesn't need to speak, doesn't fuss, doesn't complain, just gives me a look, and in that gaze, everything is explained. My better half loves me, even when I feel unlovable. Sometimes I try to lie to my better half, but my better half isn't gullible. My better half has seen me through times darker than complete blindness. If I ever lose my way, my better half helps me find it. And during times of confusion, my better half has provided much needed guidance. My better half displays defiance in the face of adversity, humility in the face of acclaim. My better half never gives up, but between us will always take the blame. My better half learns from regret and shame. My better half never lets pain come into our life in vain. My better half can stare down the abyss and locate something to gain. My better half is the simple and plain. My better half is an old soul, but a child at heart. And we've bonded and connected through writing our art. But sometimes, just sometimes, my better half and I seem eons apart. A gap that's widened every time my ego tries to play my better half's part. But my better half is patient, been like that from the start. So my better half will crack a joke to release the tension that would otherwise cause us bother. You see, the problem was I used to stare into the eyes of others. Now I'm mesmerized by any particular color, just searching for my better half. But now the picture is clear. My better half is found in the eyes that stare back at me in the mirror. Now, quick question. I want you to raise your hand and make some noise if you found your better half before. Has anybody ever come across their better half? Have you been in that position before where you have no other choice? You can clap. Go ahead and mix. Why y'all so shy for? There you go. Now, let me tell you, that is a a powerful feeling when you discover that better half in yourself. And when you start to get that good feeling, you start to make plans sometimes, right? I really love to make plans, y'all. I love to make plans. And so I made some plans, and I wrote a poem called Plans, right? And so this poem is quite short, but it'll be one before the last one. Plans goes like this. I have plans. I have so many plans. I want to be the one, I want to be the man who can lend a hand, get a few $100,000. I want to be an investor, a mentor, the best in my profession, or at least a contender. I want to know my game front to back like a fender bender and make my service a go-to like chicken tenders. Give people an experience to remember and have them coming back like a German shepherd with a perfect recall record. So while I am driving, I am visualizing a time in the future when I am making a living off poems on YouTube, speaking internationally, making connections like Bluetooth. Homie, you better get a Blues Clues. So lucid dreaming. I'm trying to live my dream. That's why throughout the day I'm executing like a guillotine. I study like a college kid. I hustle like an immigrant. I learn from every loss and I savor every fucking win. I'm all in, hungry as slow feet don't need them out running amok like a badass kid, Red Bull and silver tooth in his cup. I got plans. I have drive like Gmo. I have drive like NASCAR. I have plans. Now they call me an entrepreneur, a go-getter. You can call me what you like. I'm on a journey, a mission, and that's just how I live my life. Con ganas. Quick question. Who knows what con ganas means? You know what it means? Raise your hand if you don't know what con ganas means. Real quick, just so I can see. All right, most of y'all don't know what it means. So con ganas, I guess just translated into English real quick, it just means with desire, pretty much. Like do it with some desire, like you want it, you feel me? And so I was raised with a lot of that. You know, ponte las pilas, échale ganas, right? And I was raised like that because my parents had very strong work ethic. And both of my parents are immigrants. And this last poem was written kind of with that in mind, you know. And I don't know if y'all know, but in the poem you'll hear, but I'm the first of my family to be born in the United States. And when you're born here to immigrant parents, right, the term that they often use to refer to you is anchor baby. Anchor baby, right? And that's the term they use it in. It's not necessarily a flattering term that they use it in. It's meant to be a little, derogatory, I guess. But I decided to make a little poem called Anchor Baby. And this will be the last one for the night, and then I'm going to make my way off the stage, all right? So it goes like this. I'm the first of my family to be born in the United States. I consider myself to be a product of optimism, desperation, and a lot of faith. In politics, they call kids like me anchor babies. Man, that's a lot of weight. But sometimes I do feel like my success is needed to validate not just my own, but other families that immigrate. So oftentimes I sit and contemplate the different ways that I can consolidate my gratitude for mis papeles, which I thoroughly appreciate, with the knowledge of the damage this country has helped facilitate. Bittersweet, a catch-22, or perhaps double-edged. But no matter what I do, I keep in mind that me and mine aren't fully welcomed by a certain kind of patriot whose genetic line probably stole and murdered for their piece of pie instead of working for it like me and mine. You see, we ain't trying to steal a thing. And here's a word to the wise. Ponte las pilas y échale ganas, mijo. Let your work show pride. That's how I was raised. I have never been taught to take advantage, just to roll my sleeves up when it's time to get busy in the face of a challenge. And that's because both of my parents are immigrants, each leaving their lands individually. Not because they grew up wanting to leave everything they once loved, but because coming to America seemed like the only remedy. Now here I am, the first of my family to be born in the United States. I consider myself to be a product of optimism, desperation, and a lot of faith. In politics, they call kids like me anchor babies, regardless of what they say. All I'm trying to do is build foundations and figure out how I fit in my birthplace, the USA. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it so much. Appreciate it. Let me get my water. I forgot my water. I appreciate everybody. I hope that one day poetry could get a bigger stage, you feel me? I think poetry is a powerful tool. I think dance is a powerful tool. Art is a powerful tool. I wish I could dance like, brother, but you the one that did like the poem and the dancing, right? That was well, bro. Everybody, thank you for your time. It's a pleasure to be out here with y'all, and I hope to see y'all again. Thank you, brother.
Show love one more time. Make sure to follow him on Instagram. Cordon Concepts, incredible poet. It's something that we love to incorporate with our events. We feel that all art is important to be together, and it really just shows the community, the power of it. So at Family Affair, that's the focus, right? Not just the dance aspect, but all art. With that said, let me get the judges.